There was one horrible change.
I don't think the changes they made from last year were necessarily good.
That wasn't my call.
Seems like the goal with this course is to make every hole really difficult.
What's up, degenerates? I'm Jefferson, back with a tournament previews. Unfortunately, not at the events this year, but that's a story for another day. Because right now, we gotta talk about the Supreme Flight Open and the changes to Olympus, including the mixed feelings from the pros. Andrew Presnell, however, believes it's a top 5 course on tour. Make sure to let us know in the comments. And while you're down there, how about you hit that like and subscribe button? During his practice round, Aaron Gossage went on record saying not so great things.
Not a good change in my opinion.
See, guys, other people can be negative too. Sorry, just want to get ahead of that this season. Sort of like how Paul McBeth made sure to put in the highest quality of T-pads. And now if only he thought the same about his 360p videos. At least we don't have to start this year with those pesky standardization talks. We'll just wait until the Texas swing for that. Don't just take my word for it. Here's what Ezra Aderhold had to say.
These are really high quality T-pads. And they'll like this for the whole course too, so I don't know who put the work into these. Kevin, was it?
Not me,
No.
Nick and the Williams brothers.
Really good. And nice size, good grip, should be good in rain. Really nice.
Alright, I've sprinkled enough positive now to get into the changes and why they might not be so popular.
The changes that they made it a little more difficult, and I liked it better. There was one horrible change, but other than that, I thought the course got better.
Looks really good. I think they could make a few changes to certain holes. I don't think the changes they made from last year were necessarily good, but maybe we'll have to play it a little bit more to really decide on that.
Seems like the goal with this course is to make every hole really difficult. So
Right.
they just want it to be like an absolute beast to kick off the season. So then it makes sense, I guess, to make this a really tough par 3 instead of a really gettable par 4.
I think everything's so challenging. It's a really good way of playing disc golf. And I love that, a really hot round gets you back in it. Shooting, getting a lot of pars, it's not that bad.
Right.
There's a lot of really nice things about this course.
I like the course a lot because it didn't really seem like you played the same hole twice,
Yeah.
which is really fun.
Hole 13 was the most talked about change, this year being flipped. Casey White says it's a little dumb, but it could be worse. How about I just let Paul McBeth explain?
13, I think that was just a very easy par 4 for a lot of players. Probably the easiest hole in the course, and I don't love the hole, but it's a work in progress, and I think next year that'll be where it should be.
Pretty much we flip-flop the baskets. We're giving the FPO a longer par 4, and we're going to make a tricky, fun par 3 for the MPO.
So now we're all playing a 426-foot par 3.
And that's the bad change. They moved it 40 feet closer and called it a par 3 for some reason.
So it's just super tough now.
It's just it's a poke and hope, like
Yeah.
you're not getting there.
I like the old hole because there was a fair way to play it. You could chip a forehand down into the middle, and then it was short enough that you could scramble from there, pretty much from anywhere.
Yeah.
And now it's like poke and hope. So not a good change in my opinion. I mean, like, what are they expecting us to do here? If you're throwing a flex backhand, they're expecting it to go all the way right of that last tree and then back to the left.
Yeah.
I mean, the shot is like near impossible. You can't see the trees you're aiming at.
Right.
Anybody that gets through, it's going to be like they threw a good shot and then just got lucky at the end.
Yeah.
So this is not at all my ideal kind of disc golf.
For the FPO, now they will be playing the longer par 4 opposed to the shorter, tricky hole the MPO will be attacking. The other major change was the redesign of hole 16, basically giving it a facelift to improve the spectator experience.
And then 16 with a new tee box. So it's the same landing area, but it's a new tee shot. It's up in the woods now on the left side. We really made that change so we can get spectators to flow to the rest of the course.
Looks like they forgot to clear the fairway. What am I looking at here?
This is what I'll say, dude. It's the first time I played this hole. I was like, oh, wow, this hole sucks now. The old tee box is so cool. And then I played it again, and I was like, you know what? It's not bad.
Okay.
It's actually pretty sick.
Paul originally designed it to be a kind of like a touch forehand shot going around this way, but it was like kind of impossible. So now we opened up this left side gap and we're going to put the tee pad here. So the idea is like a turned over fairway shot that gets back out into the landing zone that skips up.
This is a crazy out of bounds. It swoops in
Right.
to like, so you have to clear the out of bounds to get back in over there.
Yeah, we're basically throwing a flex backhand oval stable disc right over this stuff right here.
Yeah, and there's like a side slope to the right. So if you land out of bounds, there's a good chance you stay out. and your last point across is like here.
Right.
So then you have no chance of getting up and down from there.
There's a secondary gap going down this left side.
Nick kicked into the what we would call the safe side, which a couple more of these trees are going to go. Yeah. And there's a couple more on the corner, but this kind of keeps you away from the OB. You can see it's flagged right now. It'll be more permanent when the tee or when the tournament comes.
The OB line might be too punishing, but we got to play it more. It used to be just the fence.
Right.
Was the OB, and now it's.
I could see the OB line going like straight to it, and I think that would be good.
From like this tree, maybe just like a straight line.
Straight line to like this corner here.
Yeah.
Because I do like it being close there. This just seems a little punishing, especially you could easily get a tree kick.
Right.
Catch something, drop down. One person's safe, one person's OB. So.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
What we're hearing as the biggest complaint is how fluky the hole can feel. The OB line being questioned as too punishing, saying that a slight miscue can easily lead to a bogey completely based on luck. Now we're just going to have to debate if hitting a tree is luck or not. The last changes that Macbeth mentioned on Smashbox were on holes 17 and 4.
Also, another change is 17, they're making everyone play to the left, the mandatory. That wasn't my call.
Okay.
It's more for the camera, so they don't have to film both sides. Hole 4, which was really hard last year, a lot of people said it was probably the hardest par 4, has gotten cleaned up a lot. It's very, very playable now, scoreable, birdies will be happening.
It's not just hole 4 that was cleared. Lots of others on the course have seen major improvement thanks to the crew. Nick Carl and Kevin Kiefer killed it, along with anyone else that's helped out on the various projects.
They put in a bunch of extra steps and everything, easier to kind of get around, especially on like those muddy hills and such.
They have a ton of walkout hill though, as you can tell. All these tee boxes, super nice. Just want to make a point of that, and then obviously they've had to clear out a ton of stuff for this hole to even walk. They've put these steps on every single hole, I think, that kind of needs them.
They're super sick.
With this wood, ton of work. The guy Danny is just a volunteer. I think he's just doing it just to do it, to be nice. And he's done a sick job. Makes walking up and down these hills so much safer.
Safety is key. We've learned that firsthand at the disc golf world. I won't mention that time Swiss fell last year. Whoops. There's plenty of talk about the Olympus property being overly difficult. Some even thinking the goal is to straight up make every hole extremely hard. If this course was played in the middle of the season, I don't think we would be having these conversations. Although it is the first event. Lots of players still need to knock off some rust, and this is what I would describe as the complete opposite of a Las Vegas start. Having to hit tight gap one after the other with trees that could kick you anywhere. Without a doubt, Olympus is a very challenging track that demands accuracy, strategic decision making, and a versatile skill set in order to score well. This will allow hot rounds to quickly put players back into contention, so don't be too worried after day one if your favorite player isn't doing so good. Unless Burr has the lead, then everyone should be scared. That's everything you need to know before checking out the Supreme Flight Open this weekend. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe so we can keep informing the disgenerates, even if we're not allowed to be at the events doing it. Huge thanks to everyone over on the Patreon for the constant support. You guys are the reason we're going to be able to go to Finland for the World Championships this year. If you want more unfiltered disc golf content and behind the scenes, who am I kidding? If you want to hear all the jokes that cross the line for YouTube, head over there because we don't hold back. Also, if you want a live chat during the final round or want the chance to be featured in videos all season long, check out our Slack group. The link is in the description. There, you'll be able to interact with us and more disc golf fans every single tournament.